Good evening. Like and subscribe if you find the content worthy, and share with your friends. Now, let's just get straight to it. I mean, tunnels, this is bizarre. And I've heard rumors that these tunnels could be used to kidnap black women in black neighborhoods. And I'm thinking, no, that doesn't that's something that I can't see that happening. I mean, kidnapping kids and children, through a tunnel doesn't seem like something that tunnels are used for. Now, mind you, this is all just speculation, but digging a tunnel takes a lot of work, and you must have some serious incentive to want to dig a tunnel. Then you got to hide the dirt and all this kind of stuff, find a place for it. I mean, this is crazy. But then I heard another rumor that it could be used to blow up buildings. Now, people have said, over 3,000 engineers have said that the Twin Towers were not taken out by the plane. And I tend to agree with that. I mean, just the idea of learning to fly a Boeing jet within a 6-month period, and then with all the flames and everything, uh, somebody's driver's license was left. Seemed like that would have melted. I mean, or if it got blown away, it would have to have been blown away miles and miles, and at least miles away. And that didn't seem right. Then they said that it was molten metal underneath the Twin Towers that took months to cool off, which seems to indicate an explosion. But the question is, why would anybody, but that doesn't make sense to me, because why would anybody want to blow up the Twin Towers? I don't see any reason for it, any logical reason for it. But then someone told me, now, this is hearsay, that if you are protesting the genocide that is going on in Israel, you better watch out. If you are protesting the genocide going on in Israel and you are pro-Palestinian, be careful. Be careful. Because what's going on now, the way the facts were laid out to me is that it's obvious that human life is not important for some people. Some people describe Palestinians as dogs, as inhuman. So if if this is genocide going on in the Gaza Strip, and it certainly smells like that based on the evidence and based on the film of soldiers saying that they're going to treat Palestinian soldiers, they're going to treat Palestinian civilians the same way they would treat soldiers. Then if you are pro-Palestine, you better be careful, because there's a possibility, it could be a Zionist running around here that has some loose screws, and he could be planning something on you. I'm not saying this is true, but this is the only possible reason I can see for a tunnel. based on the rumors, this is the only thing that seemed logical to me. I mean, why would you build that is a lot of work, a tunnel. And to go through all that, you would have to have a lot of hate in your heart to go through that kind of work. I mean, I mean, if you just like building tunnels, you wouldn't do, nah. And then why would they go through such lengths to protect the tunnels? Now, what I'm waiting to find out is, where did those tunnels lead? People want to know, where did that tunnel lead and how extensive were those tunnels? We want to know, and we have a right to know. And until we know where those tunnels lead, any speculation is good speculation. We need to know, where did those tunnels go? I want to know, because I'm anti-Semitic. And as far as I'm concerned, and I can't understand why we're calling them Jews anyway when they are Khazars from the Ukraine. They are Khazars from the Ukraine. Richard Nixon got a memo on it. I mean, it's all over the internet. So why people keep calling them Jews is a mystery to me. They're not even Ashkenazi Jews. They're from the Ukraine. In fact, from what I've gathered is that it is the Greeks who took over the identity of Hebrew Israelites, and it is the Romans who usurped the teachings of Yahshua and called themselves Christians. Because at one time, they were feeding them to animals in the Colosseum. Then also, it seems like the Greeks and the Romans exploited Egypt. And it seems to me like a possibility that they divided it up. The Greeks became the Jews, the Romans became the Christians, and together they exploited, enslaved, and colonized indigenous people, and they were called Judeo-Christians. They were called Judeo-Christians. And the last place they tried to exploit and wasn't able to was Japan, because Japan wouldn't let them off the docks. And then the United States went to Japan and took warships and forced Japan to trade with the United States. And these were the Judeo-Christians. If you remember the Black Samurai, he was on one of Yasuka. He was on one of those ships. That's how he came to Japan, on a ship. And he worked for Judeo-Christians, and they were building forts and things, like starting to build forts and things like that, and then Japan pushed them out. But that's neither here nor there and has nothing to do with the tunnels, other than to say that we need to know where those tunnels were going and how extensive of a tunnel network that is for the protection of the American citizens. Because Biden has got us into something that we should not be into. And there are lots of people, Americans, protesting what's going on in Gaza. And we don't want to see a protest and all of a sudden an explosion goes off from underneath, killing thousands of Americans, hundreds of Americans, and wounding thousands. So like and subscribe if you want to know where those tunnels go. And I'm going to keep asking the question. Talk to you later.